You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, and happy 11/11. Quite easily the most magical day of the year. I'm sure you're seeing so much about it, blowing up your social media feeds. But I am here to help you understand the numerology behind this magical day and also give you a little taste of the astrology forecast to see how we can work with the cosmic energy to tie into our manifestations today. So the sage just went out, but I just cleared myself. And I think that's an important place to start, especially when we're talking about manifestation, is making sure you're starting from a clean slate. And as we will discuss as we get into the numerology forecast, 11 is a powerful number for new beginnings, for a clean slate, for a fresh start. I was just saging on Instagram and I said, I don't know why I always want to sage under my armpits. And my friend Alyssa from the Gold Country Witch just said, armpits are considered a power center, actually. So there we go. We're already learning something new on this powerful day. And speaking of a powerful day, you know, I love to check into notable birthdays, and especially on a day like today, because we have to know who was born on 11/11, right? Well, Leonardo DiCaprio is an 11/11 baby. Makes sense. He's just got that it factor. Same with Demi Moore, Stanley Tucci, Callista Flockhart. Dostoevsky was born on 11/11. I'm pretty sure Gabby Bernstein is also an 11/11 baby. I think she's mentioned that on a podcast or something I listened to. And if you are not familiar with Gabby Bernstein, she is, just a spiritual powerhouse and has opened a lot of people in the world up to spirituality. Yeah, so it's a powerful day. If you know anyone who is celebrating a birthday today, I'm sure they're a powerful person in your life too, but let us know so we can wish them a happy birthday and celebrate them too. Yes, Gabby is 11/11 and the spiritual journalist is an 11/11 baby. 1 year ago today, the spiritual journalist, my live stream conversations were born. So we're going to have a special 11/11 episode right after this episode, talking about 11 things I learned in my first year of business and just reflecting on the past year. I want to bring the spiritual journalist back. Life has been crazy busy lately, but it's one of my favorite things to do. So what better way to celebrate it than with a new episode? Rachel is here. Thank you, Rachel. Hi, Diane. All right, so let's get a check on the current astrological energy just to see where we're at, and then we'll talk about the numerology of 11/11. So the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Gemini still. The moon will move into Cancer tonight, and then we're really going to be feeling that watery energy all weekend. But today, the moon in Gemini is keeping things very busy. And as we get to in just a few minutes, you'll see that the moon's making a lot of really powerful and kind of intense connections. There's an energy of restlessness today. So just know that if you aren't quite feeling that ease and flow and magic that we talked about so much yesterday, that's all right. There's a little bit of tension playing out. But let me know, how are you feeling? How is the day feeling for you? We're going to dive deeper into the astrology forecast in a few minutes, and I'll go through everything, but I want to start by harnessing the magic of 1111. So let's start with the numerology. You know, a lot of people I've seen on social media like manifest, 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 but why? Why is 1111 this powerful day for manifestation? And specifically 11/11/22, because of course we experience this date 11/11 every year, but the fact that we also have this year 2022, which is an angel number year, is only amplifying the energy of 11/11, because numerology, when we have angel numbers or repeating numbers, the basic principle of a repeating number in numerology is that it amplifies the energy of that number. So let's start with the number 11. What does the number 11 mean in numerology? Well, 11 is considered a master number. So 11, 22, and 33 are all master numbers. And specifically, 11 is called the psychic master because it's tied to our ability to envision, our psychic abilities, and our spirituality, our belief in our ability to create something. There is an amplified energy for creation because 11 is the doubled energy of 1. And it's pretty basic principle that 1, being the first number, marks new beginnings, fresh starts. You can also tie numerology into astrology, in a really beautiful way by looking at the different houses on the chart and looking at the energy of those houses and how they play into numerological principles too. So in astrology, the first house is all about the self. It's all about who are we, our purpose, how we show up in the world. And so we can tie that into talking about the number 1 as well. 11, though, is this visionary number tied to our ability to manifest, essentially, to create something out of nothing, to take that first step. And of course, we have master number 11, but 1 is now magnified by 4 today with 11/11, and it's just making it an even more powerful expression of this energy. What's really cool, though, is that 11/11, this date, because in numerology, I'm trying to break down numerology without getting too deep into it because I am not personally a numerologist, but I have a basic understanding. Every day in numerology carries its own number as well. So for example, today, 11/11/2022, you would add up all the single digits in the day, and that's going to add up to 10, right? 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. And then 2 + 2 + 2 is 6. So 4 + 6 is 1. 10. And then you bring that down to a single digit, and it makes it a 1 day. Hopefully that math was easy to understand. There's a reason I went into journalism and not math. But 11/11/2022 in simplest terms is a 1 day. So not only are we talking about 11/11 manifestation, new beginnings, new creations, but this day, 11/11/2022, is a 1 day representing new beginnings and fresh starts. So it's all aligning for something new to open up to us. And the key is to stay open to new opportunities. This is the most dynamic kind of day in numerology, not just because of the repeating number, but a 1 day is considered very dynamic to set plans into motion or begin the creation process of something. So to work with the numerology of 11/11, you might just want to plant that seed and start something. You might not even have to take the step and do the thing, but just put it out there. Even write your idea down. Plant the seed of the vision you want to create over the next year, over the next couple months. It's a really, really powerful day for visioning. And as we talked so much about yesterday, there's a really potent creative energy that we're feeling right now. We're experiencing a Grand Trine in water signs in astrology, and we're feeling that through the weekend, really. So creation is definitely favored, and doing something like a vision board, or like I said, it could even just be writing something down that you intend to manifest in your journal, writing the date 11/11/2022, and then maybe checking back on that manifestation in 6 months or a year from now. Yeah, happy Friday. And it's Venus Day. It's Venus Day, a beautiful day for creation, enjoyment, pleasure. Yeah, 11/11 day. So that's the numerology behind 11/11. But I also want to touch on the spiritual significance of this day, because if you even just dipped your toe into the spiritual world or started following, spiritual people on Instagram or read spiritual books, you might have started seeing 11/11 quite a bit on the clock or on your phone. Or, you might see that people hashtag 11/11 all the time on spiritual posts. 11/11 is this really well-known, if you will, indication of spiritual energy or spiritual presence. So in the spiritual community, seeing 11/11 represents a connection to the divine. And this goes with seeing any angel numbers. I think this is a great point to just touch on angel numbers. As I said that, I looked up at the recording time and it was 1123. So angel numbers aren't always repeating numbers. Sometimes they're a special number for you. But what I have come to understand, and of course, this is just me and my understanding, everybody has their own view of spirituality, is that when I see an angel number or a synchronicity like that, I go back to what was I thinking right before I saw that number, and it feels like confirmation to me. So that's what I mean when I say a connection to the divine. It's like my guides or my angels being like, yes, you're on the right track, or we're here, we've got you. It's just like this little message that comes through. Which makes it even more magical when we have a day like today, because we're going to be seeing 11/11 everywhere, right? Now, angel numbers can also be viewed as kind of a wake-up call or a wake-up code, reminding us of our place in the universe too, especially 11/11. So, if you're seeing that a lot, not just today, but in general, or the same, 444, 555, pay attention to what were you thinking about right before you saw that number. Now, some believe that 11/11, specifically this date, opens up this portal. So you might have heard the 11/11 portal. And last year, my first episode of The Spiritual Journalist on 11/11/2021 was all about the 11/11 portal. So if you want to do a deeper dive into that, go back into the archives. My friend Kat from Crystal Rising was my first ever guest on the show, and she is the most mystical, magical, spiritual being I have ever met. And she is just a wealth of wisdom and just a really powerful channel. Like everything she says feels like it's just coming straight through from source, or at least when she's in, that mode. So how she describes it, and how I've heard other people describe 11/11, is that it opens this gateway. It opens this portal to the heavens, allowing us to receive powerful downloads, powerful light activation codes from the universe. We're getting super woo-woo here for a moment. But you can even think of 11/11 looks like a gate, let me point to it on the screen here. It looks like a gate. So you can, if you're working with meditation or manifestation today, almost close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize the pillars of 11/11 creating a gateway for you to download information or receive powerful insights, realizations, tap into your own source of inspiration, envision your future in this potent energy. It's really, with this portal open, known to supercharge our manifestations and help us harness the law of attraction, because ultimately the law of attraction comes from our own vibration. We receive what we put out. So if you can use the magical energy of the day to raise your vibration a little bit, whether it's through breath work, meditation, yoga, dance, saging, using Palo Santo, tuning into a live stream, whatever feels good for you. It is Venus Day, so make sure it feels good for you. Is going to raise your vibration. And from that high vibe state of really being in the magic, that's where we want to manifest or write down our desires or be open to something unfolding for us. It's we won't get into this now, but there are different types of manifestors, different styles of manifestation, and this gets into human design and, you know, other sectors of the woo-woo, if you will. But people manifest in different ways. Some people just manifest by being in the energy of what they want to receive and just staying open. And other people, and I think that's non-specific manifestors. Other people are specific manifestors. So they have a vision for something they want to create and they can see it before it happens. That could be something to ask yourself too. How do I normally manifest? How can I tap into the energy? What's worked for me in the past? And how can I harness that today? So in general, this is a powerful day to align with a higher vibration, step into the energy of what you want to manifest. Ask for signs today. Ask for your guides to support you, and do something creative, do something fun. Do something that's going to make you feel good on 11/11. It's been an angel number week. Yeah. I feel like every time I look at the clock, there's a repeating number. I love it. It's been so comforting. That's truly what tapping into just spirituality in general has done for me, is give me that sense of comfort, especially in times of discomfort. Sometimes I'm just like, I need a sign right now. Like, can you just let me know you're around, that I'm not alone here? And 9 times out of 10, I get that confirmation. Or I'm someone with a million ideas coming through my brain all the time. I'm a manifesting generator, so it's like constant new ideas. And when I'm thinking of things and then I see an angel number, I'm like, okay, that's the permission slip. That's the go ahead. This is something I'm really supposed to follow, because if I followed every single idea that I have, I mean, I would be dead. Like, there's just no way. I'm already stretched thin with all of the things I've manifested. So yeah, I hope that it's feeling magical for you, that gives you a better understanding of why you're going to see posts like this. I did want to show you all this post because I love Spirit Daughter on Instagram. She has really beautiful illustrations. Of course, now I can't pull it up, but let me see. You can see, you know, this portal that she created. I should have had this up while I was talking about the spiritual significance, but this feels like a great representation of everything we just talked about with this portal opening. Believe what you want is already here. Really tapping into that belief, as we talked about the connection to the divine. 11/11 taps you into your manifestation powers. Look for signs that help you align with the energy. And when you see 11/11, you're in the right place. Very much tied into everything that we just touched on. So, are you feeling the magic yet? I do that with animals too. I had an idea yesterday, and right when I spoke it out in the world, a ladybug landed on me. Ladybugs are very magical too. Going to manifest that today. Amazing, amazing. Okay, before we get all gung-ho on manifesting, though, I do want to talk about the astrology forecast, because it's a little restless is a word we used before, but there is some tension playing out. So I don't want to let my toxic positivity take over. I am prone to doing that, I will admit. But I think it's important to also be a realist about the energy we're feeling today. So before we talk about the sun squaring Saturn, because yeah, that's not the easiest energy to work with, I want to pull up the chart and remind you that we still have this beautiful Grand Trine that we are experiencing. And through the weekend, we will still be feeling this Grand Trine. As Mercury comes into a trine with Neptune tomorrow, the sun will come into a trine with Neptune over the coming days as well. So we have this intuitive support playing out in the background. Even if we're not feeling those transits the most strongly today, we do have this creative, nurturing, powerful energy that is going to help us manifest. So if you want to tap into that specific energy of the Grand Trine, go back and watch yesterday's video. But if you want to be a little bit more of a realist like me today, I'm going to talk about specifically what we are seeing today. Interesting too, this is the exact chart for today at 11:11 a.m. And you can see what we'll be talking about next, the sun squaring Saturn. But at the same time, the sun it looks like, or maybe Venus, is squaring the point of fortune right at 11:11. I just noticed this as I pulled up the chart, and it looks like Mercury is squaring Vesta. Okay, but the point of fortune moves very quickly. It's a mathematical point. And when you look for the point of fortune in your birth chart, it's known for being this like signal as to where your fortune can come from, or where you're going to be incredibly lucky or abundant in life. So with the point of fortune in Leo, and it's squaring Mercury at 11:11, I feel like that's just going to supercharge manifestations or powerful energy at that point, but it might be a little bit overwhelming, right? Anytime there's a square, it can be, you could even have like a surprise fortunate thing pop up with the point of fortune squaring these planets in Scorpio. But that's just a little aside that I just noticed as I pulled up the chart. Let's talk about the sun squaring Saturn, this dark red line on the other side. I have to say too that I love how balanced this whole chart is looking right now. My Virgo-ness is like, yes, this looks nice and clean and balanced, even though there's some tension playing out. The sun is squaring Saturn, and what does that mean for us? Well, yes, as much as we're in this magical energy, fears, doubts, limiting beliefs could pop up today. The sun being our life force energy, our belief, our purpose in ourselves, squaring Saturn, the great malefic, the planet of lessons, of limits, of boundaries, of no. Saturn is just a big fat no, right? So how I see this really playing out when we zoom out into the bigger picture of what has been happening is we had the eclipse on Tuesday. We talked about this T-square, this discomfort, forcing us to learn lessons and face the facts and face the truth of things. Now we're starting to make our way into the energy of the Grand Trine that we dove into yesterday, that we're going to be feeling through the weekend. But today, the sun squaring Saturn is really just illuminating lessons. And it might even be that these lessons feel like a slap in the face or like they're coming at you. But we've already been working with this energy with Saturn making a T-square during the eclipse. So I don't think it should be as abrupt today. It just might feel like a little bit of a damper on your energy, or on the collective energy. Although 11:11 should kind of balance this out because everybody's feeling magical and high vibe today because of the date. So this harsh square between the Scorpio sun and Saturn, yes, it can bring up doubts, limiting beliefs. And this is an opportunity, right? Every obstacle is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to notice if you're trying to manifest something, if you're trying to do something magical and witchy and woo-woo, or, use the energy in whatever way feels good to you, and you hear that voice of doubt saying like, no, not you, or not yet, or you really think that you can tune in psychically, or, just all those like worries that pop up, that could happen today. When that happens, it's an opportunity it's an invitation to lean deeper into your belief, to say like, no, thank you, Saturn. I understand my rational brain, Saturn being very practical, is like, is this real? Is this 11:11 woo-woo stuff real? That could come up for you today as the sun squares Saturn. But when that does happen, we're humans. We want things to make sense. We want reason, right? When we talk about 11:11, there's not a whole lot of reason behind it. So it could feel like you're kind of playing in this like reality versus fantasy, energetic versus physical dichotomy, if you will. Attitude is everything today as well. Saturn can bring a little negativity into the picture. So if you're feeling kind of trapped by boundaries or limitations, like I just said, or even feelings of resentment coming up with the sun squaring Saturn, how can you be the observer of those negative feelings, and what are they showing you about how you can step further into your sense of belief, your sense of magic, your sense of wonder, and your confidence in yourself? The sun often represents our confidence, and the square to Saturn can really limit our confidence. But, nobody goes, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but most people don't walk around thinking like, I am so magical and confident all the time. We all have moments of doubt and fear, and those could pop up today. Now, on a more mundane level, small tasks could feel like big burdens today. Like it could just feel like the weight of your responsibilities are really heavy as the sun squares Saturn. So just know that our life force energy feels a little stifled. Like, again, our confidence and our ability to do things could feel like, oh my gosh, this is a lot, you know. The easiest way around this, I think, or to work with the sun squaring Saturn, is to just face it head on and go straight through it. Scorpio sun, we're in an intense season. We're no stranger to intensity after that eclipse. So just kind of facing those fears head on, facing those limiting beliefs, being like, I understand that this is popping up for me, but also I don't have to subscribe to it or believe it. And understanding awareness of these limiting beliefs, if we're not aware of them, there's no way to overcome them, right? So thank you for showing me that I have this doubt within me that might be energetically stifling my ability to manifest. I'm going to choose love. I'm going to choose to believe in my magic and believe in my power, even though my rational brain is trying to convince me that it's all fake and only what I can see is real, right? The positive potential, as we've gone from negative to how to work with it to the positive potential of this transit, is that it does give us a lot of determination. The sun squaring Saturn is like that. We can do it. We've got to do it. Just put your head down, giving us the willpower, like we can do it, which is interesting because, you know, the doubts and fears are coming up, but it's also like Saturn being that parental figure that's just like, you got to keep going, you got to keep doing it, you know? So there is a sense of being able to accomplish things and succeed and having that like very masculine, this feels like a very masculine energy of like, just push through kind of. But I think instead of just pushing through, also noticing what's coming up as you're forcing yourself to push through. Like, why do I feel like I have to push, you know? So hopefully that makes sense. It's a tricky angle between the sun and Saturn, and certainly not comfortable, but Saturn's here to teach us lessons, and the lessons we're learning are going to become clearer. They might, like I said, even slap you in the face today as the sun squares Saturn. We're making sense of the lessons that surfaced through eclipse season, and this could just be that moment of awareness, like, oh, I get it now. I understand why I had to go through those hardships to learn these lessons. And that's a beautiful part of manifestation too, awareness, right? Sometimes we all want to manifest the money and the house and the partner and the love and the business growth. But what about manifesting true awareness? What about manifesting deeper understanding? Those are things that we can consciously or unconsciously manifest too. So taking the lessons that you have been learning and walking through and using those as almost a confidence builder. Like, look at how much fire I've already walked through. And now is the time to rise like the phoenix on 11/11 and know that I can take all the lessons I've learned with me and use this newfound wisdom to overcome any fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that do pop up. I'm on cycle day 1. Oof. So I'm not feeling the typical energy to manifest, but maybe that's part of it, and the surrender. And this is a great reminder, Court, that if you are not feeling in the energy to manifest today, you can manifest at any moment of any day, regardless of what anyone else tells you. You have your own internal compass. You are your own best astrologer. You are the leader of your own life, the captain of your own ship. So we never want to force manifesting. If you don't have something specifically that you're trying to manifest, or you don't know what you want to manifest, that's fine too. The sun squaring Saturn could bring up some uncertainty. So rather than trying to like make a full-blown ritual or manifestation practice today, just try to even just taking that next step, that like one step up on vibrational levels of like, I'm going to try to feel a little better today. That's what I'm going to manifest today, is just feeling a little bit better. And, you know, we talked about at the beginning of the episode that today is Gabby Bernstein's birthday. And something that I learned from her, who she actually learned from Abraham Hicks, I believe. So, who knows where the original origin of this came from, but there's an emotional scale, like a vibrational emotional scale. And that was really helpful for me to understand. I can't remember which of her books she talks about this in, but instead of trying to go from despair to happiness, that's a huge leap on the scale. Going from despair to anger is actually a step up. Going from anger to doubt is actually a step up. So just taking that one step up the ladder of vibrational frequency, that can be a way to manifest as well. Like, I'm just going to try to feel a little better today so I can be in a better energy to draw in and receive a higher vibrational energy too. Rational mind is like a cock block. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And we need our rational brain, right? Our rational brain is very important. It helps us navigate this physical world and understand physical principles. But when it comes to a day like today, when we're talking about energy and manifestation, and when the sun is squaring Saturn, yeah, the rational mind can be a little bit of a cock block. Yeah. So if fears or doubts are coming up, just know nothing is wrong with you. It's par for the course, but also, again, I just have to note we have a lot of support in the background with this Grand Water Trine, with multiple trines to Neptune playing out over the next couple days, helping us align with belief, align with magic, align with spirituality. So it's not all negative. Just want to see you and give you permission if you're not feeling super magical on 11/11. That's okay too. Okay, now let's talk about the moon. We have the waning gibbous moon in Gemini, as we touched on, and this is a great energy for processing things. The past couple of days have been big for processing our emotions through writing or speaking. Overnight last night, speaking of Neptune, the moon squared Neptune. This was at 1 a.m. So confusion, delusion are possible when the moon squares Neptune, or just you could have been overly tired late last night. Most of us were probably asleep at 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time, but you might, if you were asleep, have had intense or surprising dreams or really powerful messages coming through dreams with the moon in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. If you did have powerful dreams and you remember them, that could be a great indicator of maybe what to work with spiritually today, or your guides coming through trying to send you messages on this very powerful day. I will say though, going back to that rational mind of ours, today's really not a great day to negotiate anything or make agreements. Even though it is a powerful day for manifestation, I think a better way to use this energy is, again, to plant the seed, to envision the possibilities, to write down, something you want to create or what you want your life to look like in a year from now, in 10 years from now, rather than making any cut and dry decisions or agreements. Just because the moon's phase, the waning gibbous moon, is a phase of release. This isn't necessarily the time to be actually doing things and taking action. Let yourself just dream and envision today instead. So we felt that overnight. Then at 5 a.m. and what we're feeling right now, I know a few of you said you were feeling restless, and there's a reason for that. The moon is conjunct Mars. Or that happened at 5 a.m., I should say, but we're still feeling it. The moon conjunct Mars retrograde. Remember, Mars is now retrograde. So when the moon is conjunct Mars, it's like our motivation and our emotions are merged. And especially with the moon in the flighty, quick moving sign of Gemini, it feels like we want to move very quickly and do and go. And not necessarily with this sense of like deep motivation and power, but just like, okay, we got to keep going, we got to keep doing. There's just this really potent energy of restlessness. And with Mars now retrograde, you might even be feeling like, which direction do I put my energy into? Like, I'm feeling really scattered. I have all these things to do, and I know I have to do them all and move very quickly to get them done, but I don't even know where to start, So it's kind of this scattered, restless energy. We want to move quickly. We want to take action, but pacing ourselves, slowing down, checking in before we take those actions can be really helpful, because Mars retrograde is a time where we're prone to accidents. So we want to make sure we're not moving too quickly. We don't want to hurt ourselves or anyone else. We don't want to jump to conclusions. That could be a byproduct of the moon conjunct Mars. And you might just be feeling irritable too this morning. When the moon and Mars meet up, it amplifies our anger or our irritability. So we don't want to blow up on people. That is not the vibration we want to be in on this powerful day. But again, today's forecast astrologically is just like permission. If you're seeing all these people talking about manifest magic 1111 and you're like, ew, I'm annoyed, or like, not me, like I'm not doing that today, that's okay too. That's okay too. We're all on our own path, on our own journey, and don't force it. Don't force it today. The moon conjunct Mars might make you feel like you want to force it. Nothing good comes from force, right? We want to be in the energy of allowing when we're manifesting. We want to be like, oh, I'm so grateful for everything that's already working out. And I invite more of this in, please, rather than I need this to happen. I need to do this, this, and this. That is forcing. That's more of an energy of desperation. And it's not the most beneficial way to align with the law of attraction. So irritability, restlessness, definitely possible. Now, if you thought you were already restless, wait until about 3 o'clock this afternoon, Pacific time. The moon is going to square Jupiter. And not only is the moon squaring Jupiter, which makes us prone to overdoing it, going overboard, but it's happening at the anaretic degree, the 29th degree. And this is known for restless energy. It's the final degree of Pisces that Jupiter is in right now. The moon will be in the final degree of Gemini. It feels like this very flighty, restless energy. And it might feel like spontaneous, like I just need to do it now this afternoon. I just, like I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. Not necessarily a bad thing. What is good or bad really, but just beware of overusing your energy or using it all up this afternoon when the moon squares Jupiter. We're going to feel probably more impulsive throughout the day today, overly optimistic with the moon squaring Jupiter. So it's just really easy to overdo it and overextend ourselves. Pace yourself, pace yourself, pace yourself. Don't burn yourself out in the middle of the day today because, there's going to be a dip in energy by the end of the day, most likely. So yeah. I will say the moon squaring Jupiter, though, if you are feeling that surge of energy and you need something to do with it, with Jupiter at 29 degrees of Pisces, it's a very powerful placement. If you were looking for a great time to manifest today, I would say closer to that 3 p.m. mark. If you're really feeling all of the optimism, it'll be easy to be in a good vibe and easy to be optimistic when the moon is squaring Jupiter, like a little too easy to be optimistic, if you know what I mean. It's like we're only seeing through rose-colored glasses. So that's a great time to be a little bit delusional and be like, I'm going to dream as big as I can possibly dream. Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Pisces. The moon is at 29 degrees of Gemini. All these ideas are probably coming through emotionally. We're feeling optimistic. You're looking for a specific time, early in the evening before the moon moves into Cancer, that could be the time for you. I'm always feeling whatever it is at 29 degrees. I'm wondering if you have any 29 degree placements in your chart. Maybe you do. And that's why you're always kind of feeling that restlessness, or maybe something's going on with your Mars too. But I feel you. Jupiter is hanging out at the anaretic degree for a little bit too, and we're all kind of feeling that restless energy over an extended period of time. And Mars is retrograde, so, if it's not one thing, it's the other thing. Court says, okay, so funny. I've realized my Jupiter in the 6th in Leo is like overdoes it on work and working out. Yeah, exactly. Like just even like being overly optimistic about how much you can fit into a day. I don't have Jupiter in the 6th, but I definitely resonate with that. Maybe it's just being so Virgo and that 6th house energy, but yeah, that totally makes sense. So that's what's going on with the Gemini moon today. I can even like feel this energy as I'm talking to you. Like it's a lot, you know, I'm talking faster. The moon is in Gemini. I'm processing things with the moon conjunct Mars very quickly, getting ahead of myself as I just did, being a little impulsive, recklessness, also something to keep in mind today. Don't be reckless. Let your rational mind check in a little bit. You know, the rational mind is there for a reason. Virgo optimism. Yeah, I don't know if that's my Virgo-ness or what it is, but I think it's Virgo confidence. That's what happens when your sun is in the first house. Yeah, I need to catch up with you soon, Court, because I sense that from you. You're doing a lot, and I just want you to know that I see you, and you're doing a great job. Don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, so if you're feeling the restlessness, let's all just like take a moment. I think I need to take a moment. Just okay. The moon moves into Cancer at 4:23 p.m. Pacific time. And that's what the moon in Cancer is going to feel like, going from to like, oh, okay. The moon is at home in Cancer, and it allows us to return home to our bodies, to return home to our intuition, to our emotions. We're entering a very watery weekend with that Grand Trine still in full effect. The moon will come into that Grand Trine, I believe, on Sunday. So even if you're not feeling like manifesting today, write down any little nuggets, any little seeds that come through, and tap more into the creation of those things as we're in the watery energy of the weekend, as we're more tuned into our intuition under the Cancer moon, and as we pull away from that square to Saturn as well. When the moon is in Cancer, remember the sun will be in Scorpio, so the moon and sun are coming into this nice harmony with each other. Energy can flow more easily. Our emotions and our experience can easily harmonize with each other in a lot of ways. We crave being safe, being at home. We might be a little more protective with the moon in Cancer, or even nostalgic. A Cancer moon makes us a little bit more nostalgic, but it will feel like kind of landing your head back on your pillow, back in your safe space when the moon enters Cancer. The pace will likely slow down quite a bit, and from that slower pace, from that exhale, from the come down, from the high that is 11:11, the moon conjunct Mars, the moon squaring Jupiter, we can breathe into, okay, let's process this. How do we really feel about it intuitively? Where should we really continue to focus, right? 11:11, with the energy of the day astrologically today, you could have like a million ideas coming through or things that you want to create. Again, write them all down. But the moon in Cancer can help kind of clarify, like feeling into each of those things. Like, is that really for me? Is that something I really want to do from a more in tune emotional state? But you might also just feel like being at home tonight on a Friday night. If that's not in the cards for you, I know that's certainly not in the cards for me. I have a really powerful special night tonight, tapping into your intuition in whatever you're doing and finding that safety, that home within yourself, within your body. Tuning into your body is so powerful under a Cancer moon. Not necessarily like what we say under an Aries moon, where it's like move your body to move emotions, but the Cancer moon feels more like doing an energy scan and assessing where you're holding emotions in the body, where you feel safe in your body, where you feel unsafe in your body, using your intuition in that way and nurturing your body. You only know what your body needs, right? You only know how to best nurture your body. So we can use our intuition to really tap into that as well over the coming days. How can you nourish yourself? How can you nurture yourself? How can you feel safer in your own skin, whether you're on the couch at home under this Cancer moon or out experiencing the power of the 11:11 portal at a community event, or you're with family. Being with family is definitely favored under a Cancer moon too. So you might just be feeling like you want to be around the people who you feel safe with. Safety is something that we definitely crave when the moon is in Cancer. So I would say, regardless of what your Friday night looks like or your weekend looks like, if you're feeling unsafe, take care of yourself, right? Ask yourself, why do I feel unsafe here? Is it the people I'm around? Do I need to maybe distance myself and like kind of go back into my own little shell and find that safety again? Or is it something within me that I'm holding that's making me feel unsafe? So questions to ask yourself under a Cancer moon for sure. Yeah, looking forward to this weekend at home. Again, I have like the busiest weekend. I will barely be home all weekend. And I'm like, oh gosh, the moon's in Cancer. I'm probably just going to want to be home. But if you're like me and that's not something that's on your agenda, finding safety, finding home in your body, even wearing clothes that you feel good in, like being comfortable under the Cancer moon is definitely something I recommend. I love you, Court. You're amazing. You're doing amazing things. And I will share my Virgo optimism with you anytime. I literally just told my partner I'm taking it easy this weekend, really needing some relaxing and self-care. Good for you. And again, you know what your body needs. You know what you need. That's that internal mothering that comes out during the Cancer moon, with Cancer being the sign of the mother. Just asking ourselves, like, what do I need? What do you need right now? And then giving it to yourself, you know? I was planning on doing a gratitude and dream list to honor 11/11 tonight. Perfect timing. And I love the Cancer moon because it reminds us that from that place of safety, from our safe space, whether it's in our body or in the space around us, we can raise our vibration more easily. We can attune to our intuition. We can make the dream lists and do the gratitude and manifest. And it's easier to call in the energy we want to call in when we're already feeling comfortable and safe in our bodies. Yes, buying new clothes today, self-care under the Cancer moon, feeling comfortable in your body and treating yourself like a mom would. You know, when you grow out of your clothes as a kid and they become uncomfortable, your mom, or hopefully your parent, is there to say like, okay, we need to get you new clothes so you're walking around the world feeling comfortable and feeling good about yourself. So I love this for you. Whether it's under the Gemini moon or the Cancer moon, I love this for you. Yeah, so that's our astrology forecast of the day. I'm not going to go through the full weekend. I'll probably pop back on tomorrow, but I'll definitely have the forecast posted on my website. And it's going to be that Grand Trine energy that we talked about yesterday that we'll be feeling all weekend long. But if you are looking for tips on how to work with the 11/11 energy, just remembering to be in the vibration you want to receive. The planets can impact our vibration. They can impact our emotions, absolutely. But you ultimately are your own power source. You are so capable of anything you want to achieve. And knowing what's going on can help us understand what's not ours, what energy we're taking on from whether it's the planets or other people. And today's a day to come back to your own energy and your own vibration. Hey, athletic wear is comfortable too. We love that. We love that. Have a beautiful weekend, Court. All right, so let's wrap up here with our affirmation of the day. I believe in my dreams. On 11/11, it is the day to believe in your dreams wholeheartedly. Okay, it's Venus Day. So what do you want? That's a beautiful way to start manifesting. What do I really want? And then finding that belief, that power within you, with this Grand Trine and water signs supporting us, Lilith and Neptune reminding us that we are worthy of our dreams. And really all you have to do to, sounds so simple, but all you have to do to achieve what you really want to achieve or manifest what you want to manifest is to believe that it's possible. The sun squaring Saturn today could have you doubting, is this really possible for me? But believe in yourself, believe in this vision you are creating for your life, and let go of control of when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Because the minute you plant that seed, the universe wants to make it happen for you. And how it happens might not be how you think it's going to happen, but all you have to do is believe in your dreams today. And with that, let's pull a card from the Rose Oracle on this Venus day. Feels like a Rose Oracle day. As I'm shuffling up, this is your chance to share your dreams with us, share your intentions, share how you are going to work with this powerful energy on the 1111 portal, or just share some love in the comments. That's a great way to raise your vibration too, is to share positive energy with other people, give out compliments, put out into the world the energy you want to receive. If you are looking for love, tell other people you love them. If you are looking for more acknowledgement in your work or your career or success, noticing when other people are being successful and being like, good job. That's a great way to call that success, to call that affirmation back to you. Guilty of athleisure. Every day is athleisure for me now because I work for myself. Even when I was working in news, it was like yoga pants on bottom, business on the top. It's like a mullet. Athleisure mullet. We are so thankful for you, Corby. So grateful for your beautiful energy that you share with us every day. And for each and every one of you who are part of this community. You are all so special, and you're part of something much bigger than any of us realizes at this moment. Okay, and with that, let's all take a deep breath together. Whether you're joining me live, if you're finding this video later, just take this moment for yourself to take a deep breath. Here we go. The biggest breath you've taken all day. Breathe in. Hold it. And an audible exhale. Let it all out. What do we need to know on this powerful day? The card we pulled is the Holy Grail. Stop the endless searching, inner quest. I think we've actually pulled this card fairly recently from this deck. But let's find out what message the universe wants to bring us with the Holy Grail card. Feels very 1111 pulling the Holy Grail card. Stop the endless searching, inner quest. The Holy Grail is a mysterious, long-sought relic about which stories have been told through the ages. Some believe it holds the key to eternal life and divine union. Many devote their lives to discovering and possessing it. It features in the legends of King Arthur, the knight Galahad achieved the vision of God through the Grail. In Christian mysticism, the Grail is the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper and afterward by Joseph of Arimathea to catch blood at the crucifixion. It was taken to the Isle of Avalon and buried on Chalice Hill in Glastonbury, which turned the Chalice well waters red. Pilgrims traveled from all corners of the world today to drink from these healing waters. Some believe the Grail legend predates Christ and was inspired by the wells and cauldrons of Welsh and Celtic mythology. The Holy Grail is the ultimate spiritual quest. Many see quests as physical places to journey to, conquer, or find, but perhaps the Grail is an invitation to go inward, to connect with the grace within, to find it without, to realize that this journey of drinking from the eternal well is to find it deep within, as the part of us that cannot be extinguished. Perhaps this is why the rose is a symbol that goes with the Grail, her petals calling us to spiral in, for it's there that we find the nectar of all that we've searched for, patiently waiting for us to return to it. Stop looking without, stop the endless searching, turn your gaze within. How can you go within and focus more on what really matters? I love this so much. I love that it talks about the Grail being a symbol of divine union, because that's the basis of 1111, this portal that opens us to divine connection, divine union, the ability to download codes from spirit, right? But I love how the core meaning of this card is that it's already in you. Everything that you're searching for in spirituality is already within you. And that's the true reminder of 1111, right? It's just reminding us of something that's already within us, of this high vibration that we can tap into at any moment of any day. And when we're sad, when we're happy, we can always go within and find that love and that universal love, really, within ourselves, because you are me and I am you and we are all one. And that is the key. That's the key to 1111. We're already connected. We already have everything that we need within us. The Holy Grail lives within you. Ooh, beautiful card for for 1111. Love this chat. I'm yelling. I'm so excited. I love it. We all love you too. There's a tarot donut place called the Holy Grail here. I guess I'm getting a tarot donut today. That's amazing. It's a great name for a donut place. Cleaning and listening. Love the card. I'm glad it resonates with you, Diane. I believe in myself and know that I'm good enough. You're better than good enough, Rachel. You're incredible. Think about all of the atoms, the stardust that had to come together for you to be here today, right now, listening, the ability to watch this and listen to it and to share love with other people and to lift other people up. You're not just good enough, you're incredible. And this is that reminder. What you're seeking in this connection, right? When we're like manifesting and meditating and we're trying to call things in from the beyond, it's already in you. You are spirit. You are incredible. And I love you so much. You are incredible as well, Diane, and we are so grateful for you. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Transits Today. My intention was to keep this one short because I'm going live again in just about 20 minutes. So that will be my first episode back of The Spiritual Journalist. And at the end of that episode, I'll be announcing my last 2 giveaway winners for the 5 days of giveaways. So if you still haven't entered, there will be a $22 gift card towards the spiritual shop that I'm giving away and a free reading with me. You still have about 20 minutes to go over to my Instagram and find the reel 5 days of giveaways, comment, tag 2 friends in the comments. That's all you need to do to enter. And I'll be announcing that at the end of the episode. And yeah, it's a busy day in my world. Definitely feeling the restless energy of the Gemini Moon conjunct Mars, but there's a lot of magic to tap into. Yeah, thankful for each and every one of you. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your 1111. I hope that this video helped you align with a higher vibration. If you're new here, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. It helps us keep these videos coming to you for free every single day. And I will see you all in just a few minutes. But whenever I see you next, until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the spiritual shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.